Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Ritual Flow. For today's reading, we are looking at a spirit reading for the sign of Pisces. So if you are a Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, there may be some messages here for you, but this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't for someone else. And this is timeless as well, so whenever you're seeing it, regardless of when it's posted, that's when it's meant for you. All right, let's get into it. Source, what messages do you have the Pisces collective? What are they needing to hear at this time regarding their spiritual path? Interesting. Okay, we got the Queen of Cups, the Akashic Records, the Universe, which is like the World card, King of Wands. So that was relevant. Okay. Heard. What do our Pisces people need to know? We got Two of Swords, Knight of Wands. So just a couple more. Okay, Three of Swords. That's too many. Got Six of Wands there. Okay, these came out first. That's not. It's a little too many. We'll go with it. And at the bottom, we've got Two of Cups, the Empress. Alrighty, so Pisces, you've been going through a cycle. You've been in the depths of your emotions. Something within you is ending. There's a painful separation here. You had to make a decision. You were holding yourself back, allowing your mind to be filled with doubts and anxiety, and really feeling like this was the end of things. But you had a dream, Pisces, that showed you something. It was a very important message from Spirit that showed you where you were at on your path, how you needed to end this cycle of self-sabotage, keeping yourself in a mental prison with your worry, with your fear. You had to decide after having this dream, after receiving this message, it brought a new perspective to your life. And you had to make a decision to let this old part of yourself die so that you could have a new beginning. So that you could feel abundant in your life instead of restricted, instead of feeling lack. You thought that you are going to be experiencing the end of an important relationship for you. And I guess for some of you, you still could, if you decide to ignore this message that you received in like the dream or the vision or like wherever that came from. You received a moment of clarity, a moment of enlightenment to where you could see things out into the future for how they really were, the trajectory that you were on with this negative energy, and how that was going to lead to like a death of your relationship, some sort of emotional connection that's very important to you, whether that's romantic or otherwise. But making the decision to let that old part of you die, to be strong, to create a sense of balance, a sense of success for yourself, to focus on abundance, to feel grateful for what you have instead of worrying about what you don't have. That's the perspective that was necessary for you to gain, to find balance within yourself, balance within your life, balance within this relationship in order to make peace, for everything to move forward and stay intact, not just stay intact, but to improve, to become a healthier, happier version of itself, to be a happier, healthier version of you. And as such, for that to create a happier relationship. I'm seeing that your emotional restriction, your mental restriction was creating this pain, creating this feeling of grief, of loss, of heartbreak, when nothing was yet broken. It was going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, so to speak, if you allowed it to continue, if you ignored this message and didn't pursue a different option of laying that negative part of you to rest in favor of something more light, more grateful, more spiritually connected instead of physically bound. If that makes sense. Okay, let's find a little bit more out about what kind of message you received and what kind of relationship this is. So what kind of message did Pisces receive? Oh, I see. Okay, so Pisces, you received the message that you were dampening your own inner fire, setting yourself up to limit, placing boundaries on your own spark, your own creative power. You were like mentally strangling yourself and cutting yourself down. I'm hearing like self-deprecation was a lot of what this mental stuff was going on for you. Like not feeling like enough, not feeling not feeling up to the challenge, not feeling strong in yourself, not feeling confident in yourself, not feeling like you were really embodying your spirit. It's like the ego had such a stranglehold on your mind that you weren't able to see this. You weren't able to like basically like see past your nose with these negative thoughts. They were so ingrained in you that you were just like accepting them and taking them as your reality and couldn't like see out of that fog. And this spiritual guidance that you received in like a more unconscious state, it was able to like bypass that restriction of the mind because it came to you in a place where your mind was free, and it allowed you to see beyond, to see the sort of like error of the mind that was occurring. And that was something you were able to retain and bring back with you into the present moment to make the changes necessary within yourself to see them reflected externally in your relationship. So what kind of relationship is this that Pisces was afraid to lose? That's way too many right there. Okay. We got the Sun and we got Death. So this was a relationship that brings a lot of joy to your life, that was meant to be a relationship strong enough to transform you, that the threat of losing it was enough to like light a fire under you, that like if you lost it, it could strike you down. Ace of Pentacles. So that's speaking to me that even if for you, if this is a romantic relationship or familial relationship, that that your finances, your material worth, as well as spiritual satisfaction were involved. That your sense of your ability to provide for yourself, for others, whatever, was being threatened by this mental turmoil that you were enduring. And like it could be a situation where like you and your partner, you and your family, or even if it's just yourself and your own like desires, hobbies, whatever, were not going to have a place to thrive. They were going to like literally like wither and die if you did not make this change in your life. I'm hearing, and I know it gets said for Pisces all the time, this Pisces is not the only person this can affect, but I am getting this sense of like some sort of addiction at play here. This could be substances, this could be, gambling, it could be, intimacy, like there it could be anything, but something was eating away at you. It could even simply just be like addiction to these negative thoughts about yourself. That was like really threatening to tear down your livelihood situation. That like if you did not make this change, you were going to like find yourself in a really hard spot in the material world, like financially, with your own ability to provide, with your support system. Other people that were around you were maybe like not going to be available to you in the same way you weren't making things available for yourself with staying in this mindset. Let's see what else we've got going on here for you, Pisces. The King. Man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to law, justice. That's really speaking to me, like that King of Swords. That's really like the ego having a stranglehold, like overplaying the masculine energy to the detriment of the feminine. The only place that feminine energy could flow is when you were like in an altered state where you could receive communication from spirit. And that's really speaking of like an overblown like mental like focus on the logic, like overthinking, like King of Swords gone wrong, essentially. And the Horse, accepting help from another, delegating authority. Yeah, that's really giving me the energy that it's like you are trying to carry all of this burden, all of this negativity, all of this responsibility for livelihood on your own, not being willing to accept help from someone else to share that authority. That's giving me in a partnership of some kind, like not letting your partner offer help to participate, but then struggling to the degree that everything was going to come crashing down, the relationship, the home, the family, the finances, like everything was going to implode if you didn't see that it wasn't your responsibility to carry this extreme burden of energy on your own, and then it didn't have to be a burden. That it's lighter when it's shared with someone else, and when it's had a light shown on it. Yeah, and I think that's really what Spirit did, was like shine the light on this situation to help you understand that it's okay to be positive, even if the situation is hard. It's okay to accept help, to share responsibilities with someone else, and that getting out of your head and tapping into your more feminine creative energy can provide some answers that ruminating and like holding all of this in a mental prison will not. And at the bottom we have partnership. So yeah, that's really speaking out that's what was going on here for whoever I'm tapping into with this, that you're really trying to bear all of the burden in a partnership, and that itself, like trying to like be the knight in shining armor, the king wasn't lessening a burden from your partner, it was like doubling the burden. And by coming to see the light that it's not a burden on them to share it, but to sharing it like cuts the burden in half for everyone, like across the board, if that makes sense. Okay, so in this other oracle, we had choosing your path, journey by moonlight, and voyage of the heart coming out. Yeah, you had to choose to see this from a perspective of abundance. You had to choose to sort of let go of all the reins and let someone else like carry them with you. You had to believe and trust in the message that you received, that it wasn't just some like nonsense thing you experienced, that it really meant something, that it was a poignant sign that was detrimental to your life for you to listen to it. Or not detrimental, would have been detrimental not to listen to it. It was imperative that you listen to it. You have voyage of the heart here too. Love flows through you and to you. That was really stifling your sense of love, carrying all of that burden by yourself and taking a step back, sharing it, opening up the doors, the floodgates in your heart, like to love, to your like that this moon, the moonlight, that's like your intuition, that's the feminine energy, letting some of that feminine energy seep in. It was a very like toxic, like wounded masculine energy that was like forcing you to carry all of this burden alone and putting all of that responsibility on yourself. When you chose to take a different path that allowed that like feminine loving energy to seep in, allowed you to accept help, like, saved your partnership by like opening that up and sharing that energy. Let's see, in the bottom, stepping into your into power, which is your power. And that's something that you have had to realize, like that was a big lesson from this journey that you've been going on, that you were feeling like you were holding all the power by holding all of these swords in your hand, holding it down with this masculine energy and like trying to keep this burden from anyone else, but trying to hold everything yourself and being stubborn about it actually like was weakening you, was weakening your relationship, was weakening your life force, your whole situation. And the light that was shown to you, what you had to learn was that there is power in accepting help from people. There is power in sharing the load with the people that you love, that you were building your strength instead of diminishing it by allowing this this experience of life to be truly shared. Really allowing the space for the partnership instead of having a partner and trying to be like the sole supporter in every way, shape, and form. That's the energy that I'm getting from this. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that things are going well for you, or they will be soon. depending on where you're at along this process. If this resonated, give it a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you next week, Pisces. Thank you. Bye.